1 second, please. Do 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 do. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today, and what a day today! So we definitely had a turnaround Tuesday. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So it was a pretty wild dip by today, but impressive, right? So if anybody was looking at a lot of the tools we talked about, like when to buy the dip, the last couple weeks, right, a couple weeks ago in our series, today's dip buy would have made a little bit of sense, right? There was a lot of oversold positions there on RSI under Bollinger Bands on the intraday charts. It made a nice move. So anyway, good stuff there, guys. Anyway, today we're going to be continuing our series here this week on tracking Tesla's counts. So we're going to see where we're at on that one. Yesterday we had a little bit of a weather issue, which was knocking out the power, knocking out the internet, knocking us off of YouTube. But tonight looks pretty good. So speaking of knocking, let's knock on wood, and hopefully we get to get through the whole show tonight and all the chart requests. So before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at see where we left off the market today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening, what we'll be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX guys up 35 points today, right? So August finally turned the monthly green. Sorry, there's a little bit of a performance delay here in Thinkorswim here tonight, so it's a little bit laggy. But anyway, SPX inside week, so it's not going to keep up with my auctioneer voice. But anyway, nice push here over the 80 EMA here on the daily chart too. So again, but we're still staying within this range, right? We're not really getting anywhere. We're getting some candles that are moving down. We're getting some candles that are moving up, but we're not really moving. We're not making any progress. We're just kind of hanging out around this 4,400 area. And so we really just kind of need to see how, if this market's eventually going to take direction. Now, we did have that a little bit ago, kind of Memorial Day. We're kind of going sideways, but we are kind of entering August, which is oftentimes a low volume month, but let's see what kind of action we get. So we were really thinking today, that we might get this wave C, a larger wave C down move. And so the idea is that we had this expanded flat A, B, C. We were kind of hoping for a real nice wave 5 count, and we got kind of this sloppy, truncated fifth wave C and a big impulsive move to the upside here today. So a big V reversal again. So we really just need to see what the price action is going into tomorrow, right? So we'll take a look at the futures here and see what we got going on here. But we might actually be setting up a triangle, right? So let's keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the futures here and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. Yeah, this Thinkorswim's going really slow here tonight, but we'll try to get through it here, guys. So anyway, guys, S&P futures down about 7 points here this evening, right? We got a big boost at the close, and then we got a big kind of down move there, just a big push and then a drop. Let's see how this holds right here. So big push right here, and then right here after hours they decide to sell things off, right? So they always make it kind of tricky like that. So we'll see how it goes. We're not that far away from all-time highs, but let's see what we do tonight. Let's see if they can get above this geometric line here, and then obviously try to get above today's highs, and if we can push up just a little bit farther to all-time highs, right? So so what we see what we have in store there. If the bears really want to step up, maybe that was just an impulsive move down, and or just a wave 2 move, and we're looking at a 1-2-1-2 on the for the bearish wave down. So we got to kind of keep an eye on that too. And then otherwise, we might just see that kind of choppy triangle. So it's a tricky little count here as we go forward. Anyway, guys, good stuff. So let's take a look at the topic here this week. Again, we're tracking Tesla's count. So for anybody that didn't tune in yesterday or was had a little bit of trouble following along because of the power outages, we'll update that here and take a look at it and see where we might be going here on Tesla. So let's take a look. So Tesla, guys, finished up about 7 cents today. Kind of a tricky intraday type mover. This data is really slow here. I might have to switch screens. Give me 1 second here, guys. This is running super duper slow. Hold on 1 sec. Let's see. Let me detach this. It's just running too slow for me to even work with it. Give me 1 second. I don't know why I got so laggy here. Let me just clean up this other monitor right here. But we'll take a look at Tesla here. I'll kind of show you the count that we've been looking at here. As we clean up this other screen, see if we can move a little bit faster here, and I'll kind of trash that last process here. Here. 1 second, guys. It's got to get all the time frames for everything. They always reset themselves where you can't even get it centered on the screen, so you have to go through each one and kind of recenter. All right, let me get this here, here, and we'll reset this to this. Give me 1 second here, guys. Here, remove that. Add this source here. And that should give us a better screen. Okay, good. This should be a little bit faster here. And let me pull up TSLA. And let's pull up the cleaner chart. Yeah, it's moving a lot faster here. So good. And let me just let me trash that other process so it doesn't create any more lag throughout the system. Hold on 1 second. This is TOS during the day, guys. Sometimes it just becomes such a lag. All right, we got this here. It just loves gobbling up memory. Okay, I think we're good here. Let me double check here on the broadcaster. Yeah, it's good on the broadcaster. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so just to pick up where we left off yesterday, so we had a little bit of a thinkorswim storm here tonight. So there's a couple different ways to look at this, right? So one way is to look at this that we're kind of in the middle of a triangle right now, right? We just got a little triangle breakout. We could be pulling our way back here to the bottom of the triangle. My preferred count is just the fresh bullish count after the zigzag move, right? So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, ABC back up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and it looks like we kind of have this 1, 2, 1, 2 type feel to it, right? And so we may be working kind of like a mini 1, 2, 1, 2 right here now. So I feel like we're in some sort of wave 3 of 3 here, and are pretty bullish, right? But this is a pretty big move recently. Right, so like we said yesterday, we were expecting some sort of kind of itsy bitsy teeny weeny pullback, right? And so yesterday we drew the Fibonacci's, and one of the things that we were looking at yesterday was the potential for. Oh, let's take a look here. So here's the triangle that we were looking at. Let's see if that goes here. Oops. Let's go, yeah, Tesla show fresh triangle right there. Yeah, so here's one of the triangles that we were looking at, right? So this could be A, B, C, D, and we might pull our way back to E. And then we had this wave right here, right? So this was kind of what we've been tracking, right? So this is the impulsive wave up, right? And we were considering that yesterday based on the upper shadow that we got, right? It wasn't a super strong breakout. I mean, it moved, right? It was a great day trade out of this level, right? All this resistance, right? We gapped above those levels and we got a nice push, but then it came back in, right? And so today is, could be kind of like a wave 4 triangle, potentially, right? We were looking for a 382 pullback, but right now we're just kind of hanging in here. Let's see if this is a gap right here, 97.53, and this low right here. Yeah, so there is a little mini open gap right here that hasn't been filled too. So, and they gave us an inside day with a red candle, right? So that's a couple things that we're looking at here that we want to see. So it definitely is looking triangular, right? So we kind of have this A, B, maybe we'll get a C, D, E type feel to it, and then we'll break out of it, right? That could be a wave 4 triangle in the works. If we have a choppy day tomorrow, then we'll try to get really bullish. We'll see if it gets really bullish going into Thursday. Other than that, right, if it takes the inside day down, we might get a quick gap fill right here. It might even give us a lower shadow off the 382, and that could be the end, right, of this subwave, right? And so let me just kind of put a little label on here. I know I'm not really consistent here with the labeling, but just kind of is what it is. 2, and then 3, and then we're thinking maybe a wave 4 here to the 382, and then we'll see if it gives us a wave 5 up. Okay, so that's really what we're tracking right here. So that's Tesla's count right now that we're thinking, right? Other than that, it's possible that it could pull back even farther if we're in that larger triangle that we pointed out too. So I think this is really important to look at here this week. And so let's see what this inside day does, right? We kind of closed with a red day today, even though we were up 7 cents here, but the candle itself was less than the open. So if we take that inside day down, look for the gap fill, and then we'll see if we can catch a lower shadow here off the 382. It's about 689, 690. So keep an eye on that going into tomorrow. Okay? So good stuff, guys. Hopefully you found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So the Nest beat the crowd this morning. I love it. So this evening. So let's take a look. So you got JYNT on the radar. Let's take a look at this one. Oh yeah, big candle on this one. I know we looked at it recently. It was looking like a bull flag, and this is we got it. We got a nice volume breakout out of this area right here off the 50-day moving average, inside day up, and we got earnings coming up. So see if we can get some more follow through to the upside and get you a little bit of earnings run on that one. HSKA, big gap up there today, and then a nasty upper shadow, right? So a little bit kind of nasty there with today's really low volume stuff, but interesting move on that. And then we'll catch your other one in a little bit here. And we got a few in via email tonight, so and Twitter. So Otas sent in via Twitter. So we got NVIDIA on the radar. We like NVIDIA. We liked it today for a day trade. right? So we really are waiting for this thing to close, right, to give us a nice close over these levels, right? And so all these levels right here make a nice breakout area. And it looked like we were breaking out today, but the problem was is the Nasdaq was flushing today, right? And so so if you look here before the Nasdaq, I cautioned our group this morning. I said Nasdaq's possible for a day trade, right? But if you look at the Nasdaq, and this is at the open here this morning, it was flushing, right? It lost its geometric level, and we provide this stuff in our bubble report. It was flushing, right? So it's hard to go long in Nasdaq. I know sometimes they'll go even without it, but it's hard when you have that type of headwind against it. And honestly, it ended up playing out against Nvidia, right? So we got that big drop right here, and then some news came out about the United Kingdom saying that something about their ARM deal and blah blah blah, right? And then ended up being a rubber band reversal, right? So so just kind of a funky, choppy day today. We really wanted to see it close strong over these recent highs, right? And it ended up kind of pulling back and leaving us with an upper shadow. So right now we're kind of like, we'll see, right? So it might even give us a little bit of a deeper pullback, and then maybe you'll have to find a retrace over the next couple days or so. So let's keep an eye on that one. Pfizer, huge move right here. I mean, tough to chase at this point right here. We talked about this geometric level, I believe here, right? Triangle breakout, and just continue to follow that ADMA up, and just a nice push there on Pfizer after earnings. And good stuff. Really appreciate it. Options Rock sending a few here via Twitter as well. We got Loco on the radar. Like we said, guys, what did we say yesterday? We said a good chance of this thing tests that this bow tie right here, the 50-day and the 200-day combo, and to tag that and then bounce right off of it. So if you had like a limit buy right there, I liked it too because it was a little bit of support here, here, and here. Right, so you got that right there. So it all corresponded with those levels. Nice dip buy on El Pollo Loco. Right, so nice one there. Wow. Let's take a look. Inside day here might be getting tight up there at the top of the wedge. Watch out if it breaks it down. Right, trip. Let's see the trip. Trip was looking so good, and it actually could be kind of like a little 1-2-1-2, but I'm not a huge fan of it under the 80-day and the 50-day and the 200-day. Right, so let's look to see if we can start to get some more bullish volume on that. But that was a great find not too long ago. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at PD. Inside day as it's trying to work its way up out of that flag that we pointed out, and then MIT-K. Let's take a look. MIT-K, possibly working on a bull flag, and then Vizio. Still grinding its way down, but nasty, right? This breakdown candle right here was great, right? Increased volume, started to amp up, right, and ended up working its way down. So let's see what it does, right? It might find a little bit of support back down here at this 21 level, and then maybe earnings will get it going again. So let's see how that goes. But good stuff, great charts. Really appreciate it. And Shirley sent a few via email. Let's take a look at mRNA. Very similar to the Pfizer move today, just another huge, strong move. Might be trying to work on an earnings run, so let's see how that goes. Snow, let's take a look. Snow, beautiful breakout on Snow today. I love this candle. Looking really good. This was an idea of ours not too long ago, and it got some great follow through today. So really nice stuff there. Win, let's take a look again. Great follow through the downside. Let's see how it does after earnings. We were bearish on most of the casinos. LVS, I think, was our public game plan idea yesterday. MU, beautiful breakout of the 50. You find some really nice ones that we're all liking here today. And then Pfizer, again, we looked at this one a little bit earlier. I love the double inside day up, Otas. And I remember you were asking about this, right? You were pointing out a couple of beautiful double inside day up here, right to the 80-minute. Boom. Nice move. I love it. Good stuff. And then next, let's take a look here. You got, thanks, Shirley. Really appreciate it. DOCN. Let's take a look. DOCN, nice push. Nasty upper shadow. Kind of heading up into earnings right here. John Turner, pins. Yeah, had a decent recovery day today. So see if we can push up over today's highs and kind of keep on going. Let's take a look at FSLY. Still kind of grinding its way down here under the ADMA. FTCH. Just kind of chopping around after hours, and kind of a nasty breakdown candle into the cloud there. A bit of a lower shadow off of it, but if it loses those lows, right, could get a little bit nasty. Big C, chopping, right? So it could be working on a bit of a cup and handle-ish type thing. Like, here's your cup, right? Here's your handle, right? So just kind of see if we can get out of that geometric line right there and maybe try to give a increased volume breakout. And Shreya, what's going on? Going to see a KMX. Yeah, so KMX, big candle on this one here today. Again, beautiful move after earnings, guys. This is one of our members pointed this out to us. Like, hey, guys, you heard about that news about used cars prices going up? What do you think about CarMax and earnings? Boom! Huge move on that one, big move. And then this is just, the craziness, right? Breaks out of this this cup pattern and then forms the handle and then starts to break up, flag, and then up, right? So just kind of crazy stuff, but a nice day today on that one. So see if it gets any follow through. And then Nick, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got Roku on the radar. So Roku has been kind of grinding its way down here below the ADMA, right? So got below geometric. We got earnings tomorrow after the close, so anything could happen after that. If you guys recall from our earnings series last week, about 50-50, it may be worse, right? So a little bit of caution on that going into that. So Neo hanging in there, right? So it's right at this 50-day, 200-day, ADMA cluster zone, right? So let's see if it can hold that, maybe try to work its way back up. And good stuff. Really appreciate it. Messy, what's going to AFRM? Let's take a look. AFRM hanging in there, a bit of an upper shadow, so a little bit of caution there. AMD, again, beautiful move on this one recently. A little bit of an upper shadow. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a bit of a pause day there today, so or tomorrow. So kind of keep an eye on it there too. Baidu all over the place, kind of a tough one there. Baba had its earnings today. It didn't really move much. It got a little bit of a dip by, and Baidu's is kind of just chopping around here. I guess they're waiting for earnings or maybe more Chinese stock crackdowns, right? So we got that going on too. Armando, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Tuesday. Let's take a look at T-Doc. T-Doc with an inside day here. It's kind of sitting on the 80MA, so let's see how that goes. And then Zumba, getting pretty interesting here, guys. Getting interesting, right? So nice little 1-2 right here, right? 1-2, and then maybe like a little 1-2. So keep an eye on Zoom, see if it's ready to get going into tomorrow. Could be interesting. Nice find. Muku, what's going on? Good to see ya. Yeah, my pleasure. Really appreciate it. Yeah, let's take a look at CRSR. Yeah, this is fun, guys. I really appreciate it. And you guys put up great chart requests, and oftentimes I find some names that you guys put out there that just not only help me, but help everybody here, too. I love that. So CRSR, spinning top here after earnings. So, watch, see if we can break above today's highs and kind of get back going into the gap. And then Armando, so the RCX, getting really choppy right here. I mean, it was kind of working on the triangle, but at this point now, right, you got to look at that last little reversal, right? So see if you can kind of get out of that area. And it might be working its way down, right? So if you kind of take this here, too. Right, kind of a larger triangle type move, right? So just keep an eye on it and see how it goes. Good. And then Arman, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. Look at Run. Run with a couple upper shadows on this one here. So we got earnings coming up here. So just a little bit of caution on this one, but could be interesting. And then Piton, if it breaks out over that geometric line. Piton, a lot of upper shadows right here too. Could be kind of flagging, but the flag's getting a little bit big. So a little bit of caution there. John Flores, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at CRM. CRM hanging on to the 50-day here so far with a couple lower shadows and tagged like cloud, so let's see if it's getting ready to try to do a bounce. And then Zoom looking pretty interesting here too. I know Paul really likes this one, so let's see how that goes going into tomorrow. So, Kalani, Hawaii, what's going on? Shout out to the bubble report. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Nice call at AMD. Thanks. And yeah, we got some unusual call activity on it. It was kind of, so you think that AMD's like kind of running out of steam, but then you see all that call. We had a bunch today in the Discord today too. I mean, just like millions and millions of dollars of AMD call activity. It's still interesting. Some folks are saying this thing wants to get to at 130. So kind of keep that on the radar here. I wouldn't be surprised though if we got a bit of a pause day yesterday. But thanks for the shout out on the report. Awesome. And then Shreya, let's take a look at Maz. So Maz kind of grinding its way up and kind of interesting there. And then Mookie, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at PayPal. So PayPal struggled a little bit there right after earnings, right? And starting to get beat up, right? Apple doing some like other payment options, and Square was pretty strong recently. So let's see if it can kind of build right here. The volume's been declining since earnings, right? Look for some strong volume for a reversal, but this could be an interesting area here. So good stuff there. It is holding some support. Yep, it is holding a prior area. Right, we got a lot of levels right here. I'm just going to clear this drawing set out. We'll take a look at that here. I mean, you got this going on, right? So all this kind of stuff right from back here, right? So it's kind of like a zone here. That see if it holds it, right? And we're at the cloud too. But we're also under the 80-day and under the 50-day, right? So if it wants to, right, you got support down here. You got the 50-day, the 200-day moving average. So a little bit of caution on it. But good stuff there. Mosby, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. You got MCHP on the radar. Let's take a look. MCHP, nice bounce off of the 200 to 50, right? So give you a nice little moving average pong there, and it's up a little bit after hours. So let's see if that can get going. Lift about flat here after hours too, after earnings. So see how that goes, kind of sitting on the 80 MA there. Beyond still just riding that 80 MA down, right? So to see if earnings can start to change things. And JP Morgan, I like the candle today. I like the hammer that's sitting on the 80 MA. So let's see if we can break above today's highs. So Grace, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla again, guys, inside day, right? So we profiled this today, right? So be sure to check out the beginning of this to get a little more detail on it. But we're definitely looking interesting. It kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, maybe a wave 4 triangle for another day, another choppy. Otherwise, if we see a sharp move down, right, you can see this A, B, C, fill that gap right there, and then we might look for a bounce. Okay, so keep an eye on that one for Tesla. And then Apple. Again, this is a great one, guys. Anybody who caught the Elliott Wave Show this weekend, we pointed this out as one of our favorite names, right? And so we were looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like it may have put in the wave 4, and we got this 1, 2, and we might be starting kind of like an impulsive wave up for wave 5. Right, so keep an eye on that for Apple. Could be interesting. And then AMZ, I have a feeling you meant AMD. Either way, that one's kind of looking like it's holding some support. But AMD again, super huge move right here. This one at this point now, if you're not sitting in it, right, look for a pause day tomorrow and then see if it continues to work its way up. But if you're not sitting in it, just look for intraday setups, right? See if the dips are still viable. Okay, so good stuff there. Thanks, Grace. And then Shreya, what's going on? Trip. Some usual volume on the 40 strike August calls. Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah. So they might be looking at that one into earnings. Could be interesting. And then 2,600 calls on the ass. Nice. Someone knows something or not, right? I mean, you just don't know, right? You never know. In fact, it could have been somebody that owned something and sold it today. You have to see if it shows up on the open interest going into tomorrow, right? Somebody could be just have a long position and just be selling covered calls on it. Or they could be covering their covered calls. Or they could be hedging against something else. Or they could just be randomly buying stuff, right? You really don't know. So somebody knows something, but we don't know what they know. And we also have no idea what they're doing. But we can make assumptions, right? So if they're calls, then we can maybe try to assume they're bullish, but we don't do anything unless we see a chart set up. Let's take a look at Guild. Nice gap fill on this one. So again, I was kind of looking a little bit falling wedges here recently, but a good push there. Again, a lot of these farm names are pretty strong today. Yeah, and Hood had a pretty good day today. It's because I don't think you can short it yet, and it's just the institutions is kind of playing along. I mean, there's some retailers traded this one today, but it just is what it is. Wait till you're able to short this thing. Wait till you get options on it. It could be a wild one. Options open up tomorrow. Thanks, John. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Sorry, Grace. Yeah, Amazon. Let's take a look. Oh, I mean, Grace, we have no idea, right? You just have to look at the price action. Nobody ever knows anything about anything, right? So we just are going with probabilities, right? And so, yeah, if it fills a gap, it could be a potential support. We'd look for bullish price action. If we get some bullish price action, we'd look to see if it works its way to the upside. But there's absolutely never, ever any guarantee in trading, okay? So is it on the way up? Who knows? Maybe. Look at the price action, and that's the only way you can know for sure. But good stuff. Yeah, so Amazon, pretty interesting, right? Nice outside day on this one. Good increased volume. The only thing that I didn't like about Amazon was the upper shadow on this one, right? So it's a little bit tricky there. It is trying to hang on to the upper trend line. Let's see if we can get above today's high. I would like to have seen a stronger candle on this one today to get excited about it. But it did have a huge dip by today. It was just amazing, right? So huge level here. 3,300 was a big level for this thing to hold. Hit 32.99.77, and then just an epic bounce of the rest of the market. But Amazon decided to be in play today. It was actually slow moving at the open. It's kind of doing nothing. You remember we looked at the NASDAQ, right? When the NASDAQ was flushing here this morning, I was like, okay, come on, Amazon, are you going to do anything? Right? The NASDAQ just flushed, right? Amazon was just kind of chopping, and then it finally started to get going. Finally started to come alive again, right? And lost these levels, and then pushed down, and then it hit this key level, and then a major move on it. So Amazon's starting to come alive again, right? So looking pretty interesting. See how it handles this macro upper trend line. Anyway, good stuff, guys. Really appreciate all the requests. Hopefully, everybody found this helpful today, and we'll continue to track Tesla's count going into tomorrow. So, hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys bright and early right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys.